I love Macbeth. I love it because it's such a perfect psychological thriller. And it starts, you may be familiar with this, or you may not even know you're familiar with it, with the witches. When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain? But in fact, for me, and for my introduction to the Oxford World Classics Macbeth, I started just a line before. The very first words of the play are actually a stage direction. Thunder and lightning, enter the witches. And I became really fascinated by that direction, thunder and lightning. In the Elizabethan and Jacobean theatre, thunder, the sound effect thunder, was made by rolling a cannonball around the kind of wooden space above the theatre and having it reverberate through this the sort of wooden structure, what Shakespeare elsewhere calls the wooden O of the theatre. I think it must have been a really quite a terrifying sound, particularly in an age which has got no, if you think about it, no magnified audio, no aviation, none of the big loud noises that there are in our modern world. So for me, the thunder in the theatre came to be a really, really extraordinary loud noise, an unexpected loud noise to start the play with. And I kept thinking about that and thinking about the world and the experience that that generates for audiences. It seemed to me that starting with thunder and lightning is a really physical, really physiological experience, not a verbal one, but a physical one. And we know from doctors that what loud noises, unexpected loud noises create is adrenaline. And adrenaline, we all recognize that kind of stressy, anxious, jittery, perhaps slightly queasy feeling. I think by beginning with that, Shakespeare takes a step towards something we don't tend to associate with the theatre of his period, and we think of as much more modern, and that's immersive theatre, immersive theatre. So theatre where audiences really experience, they don't just spectate, they experience along with the characters. Macbeth is all about anxiety, about heightened physical responses, about how your body responds to stress, to guilt, to anxiety. We see that play out both in Macbeth and in Lady Macbeth. And from that very first stage direction onwards, I think we see it play out in ourselves as audience members. Shakespeare writes Macbeth in the shadow of the gunpowder plot, the Catholic plot to assassinate King James, a terrorist act, if you like, and also a big loud noise or a big bang, a big explosion. And that jittery sense of anxiety and of stress, the stress of being a Londoner in a terrorist age, the stress of being a king killer, and having that knowledge in the play. That seems to me what Macbeth explores so brilliantly and so terrifyingly.